Hey everyone, and welcome to the Infinite Respawn podcast. I'm Chicken.
I'm Oak Tree.
I'm Grif.
I'm Baka.
So guys,
So
how's it going?
it's
Pretty
going.
good. Tired. Hoarse a little. A lot of yelling yesterday.
Yeah, I bet. Big football game, all that stuff.
Yeah.
It was a fun environment for the second half. First half was not a fun environment at all.
Sure.
Yeah.
What games has everybody been playing?
Mine's easy, so I'll go first. Been playing a little bit of Outer Worlds, which I'm really enjoying. I like the different missions and stuff that's on there. I like the humor is what gets it for me. Like, I just love some of the stuff that they've done with it. Like, I mean, I'm sorry. Anytime you have something like diet toothpaste in a game, at the end of the day, and then like the onboard computer for your ship is hilarious. Like, there's just so much stuff that they've done in the game that is just a little bit of the details that's on there. And then, you want to kind of explore the worlds. They made it to where you want to explore things. So I'm enjoying that. On top of that, I did, of course, played Minecraft, which I'm enjoying as well, of course. But it's a nice game to just sit back and chill and punch trees, as Griff likes to do a lot of times as well, too. And I got to spend some time with Griff this week because she was on a laptop. And I brought my laptop, and we sat next to each other playing two different games, and I got to hear her cuss at things. It was great. So.
Yeah. We both enjoy punching trees just in different games, because Minecraft's not my jam. But I did start Ark. You can play a single-player version of Ark, but it's local to whatever machine you're playing it on, essentially. So I took my laptop, and that meant I had a whole new, fresh Ark to go punch trees in, which is kind of nice, because I can correct some mistakes I've made in my home version. But I saw a mechadinosaur. This is what Oak heard me yelling about. And I shot it with I was trying to, it was before I had anything really, because it was on the beach that I spawned on. So I'm trying to, punch it to knock it out, and it's just running from me. I get it. I'm punching it. It makes sense. You run from things that are punching you. But it kept going in the water. What are you doing? Get out of the water. And there were friggin' sharks in the water. And then when it came out of the water, at one point it got ate by a Spino. And I was so mad. I chased that thing around and I still couldn't get it. It's okay.
It was so funny too, because at the beginning of that I get a come here, look how shiny. So I get up, walk over to her. And it's just this nice shiny thing, and I was like, what the fuck is that? Because when I was playing Ark, you didn't have that. Set up that way, so I was like, holy crap. And it was nice. It was funny just to sit there and us.
And then later I got my shiny tech parasaur. I don't want a bunch of other ones because they're so shiny. But I also found a skeletal triceratops that's in my farm now. But he's cute. It's just a skeleton. And I wanted to go find some more, but by the time, I was like...
Does it eat?
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I guess so. I had to tame it with berries, so I guess it has all of the same existing rules as a regular...
It's just a skin, basically.
Yeah.
It's a Halloween skin, but still, it's pretty weird.
I was like, I'm going to go home and get one for my home, one too. And by the time that I got home, either my laptop didn't update while I was out, or by the time that I got home, they had already taken down the Halloween event. And it was over. And I was like... I wanted another skeleton. I really want a skeleton Bronto because they're huge, giant, bony neck. That would be so great. So great.
It's the little things.
I know, right? I've also played Outer Worlds this weekend. I have to wait to the weekends to play it now because I want to be able to sit down and dedicate a little time to it instead of it being I'll just load it up for 15 minutes. You can't play that game like that. I love this game so much. I was having a hard time at the beginning to getting really into it, but after I started acquiring my crew and going around with them, because they'll talk to each other while you're out and about, oh my god. Vicar, Max, and Felix together are insane, because they are polar opposites on everything, except for they like tossball, which is the baseball-esque sport in the game. And they will talk to each other civilly about that, but everything else is they don't agree. It's so good. It's so wonderful. I love them so much. So
I'm very sad that I did not get Vicar Max.
I am too, because he is a treasure. I mean, I love him. I will take him everywhere.
And for those wondering, I made choices in the game that kept me from being able to get him. I'm not going to go into details on what those are because I don't want it to affect your game, but I made choices and I was not able to get him.
Well, I adore him so much. He's probably, like, I thought Felix was going to end up being my favorite, and I really like Felix a lot, but Vicar Max, man, that's my homie. We're going to go everywhere together, travel this whole galaxy together. But I too really love the writing and the comedy, and just a lot of it's got this really fun tone to it, but there's also these really serious things happening as you're dealing with all of the fun stuff around it. And they give you a really nice mix of, let's laugh at this, but let's also realize that this really terrible thing is happening over here. So
Right.
It's been really fun, and I'm looking forward to playing it. Chicken originally had told me that our entire Monday, because we're almost 60 in WoW, and he's like, our Monday we're just going to get up, and from the time that we get up until the time we go to bed, we're going to level until we hit 60. And I was like, if you say so, I guess I won't play Outer Worlds. And then Snitty was like, hey, Chicken, I'm off tomorrow morning. What are you doing? And I'm like, oh, no. I guess I'll have to find something to do on my own while you're busy with Snitty. I'll go play some Outer Worlds. Oh, no.
That's fine. Once we're done playing, then we're going to hit WoW. We're going to get 60 tomorrow.
So.
That's funny. Too funny.
That's what I've been doing. What about you, Baka and Chicken?
Kind of a boring week. World of Warcraft, and then other than that, I've been carving a face for the spooky tree for the scenery.
Nice. It looks spooky.
Looks like you've been carving your hand too.
That's something else entirely. That's not cutting.
Baka's a danger to himself when there are like sharp tools involved.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So, such as Dremel tools.
Yeah, you should probably not play with that. What about you,
Probably
Chicken?
not. Yeah, don't do that. Played WoW. I've been playing Outer Worlds myself. And I've been playing a little bit of the TFT in League of Legends. Which they just did season 2. It's called Rise of the Elements. They changed everything, so it's a whole different game again.
Things actually change season to season?
No more broken yordles.
Oh no, they're more broken things this time around. Broken ninjas or broken electrics. I don't fucking know what they call them.
Oh.
Broken stuff.
Those things.
Yeah, they're broken stuff.
Those things.
But yeah, that's all I've played. I just want to get back to WoW. I don't know. Since I'm so close to 60, I've just like fell back into it hard.
Well, we've also got our
halfway
first...
through 56 now. So
Our
Or
guild
a
has
little
the
over
first raid planned for
On
this
Wednesday.
week. Yeah, so we've got to get there right now, essentially.
And get some gear, get some stuff going. So we're ready by Wednesday.
Yep. Wednesday's going to be a real interesting day, I imagine. So we'll
Yes.
see.
Yes, I'm sure we'll have to pug a bunch of people too, but that's fine. We'll probably make some pretty decent progress, if not clear the whole place.
We'll see.
we can if we don't have the flames to douse the symbols.
I think somebody's already got the symbols. Apparently, it's super fucking easy.
They're talking about stuff you need for things. That's really...
the
every-
Hydroxin Waterlord's rep.
Every time you kill a boss, you have to put the rune out behind it. Once you put all the runes out, you summon the second to last boss. When you kill him, it summons the last boss. Simple.
simple.
Layman terms. It's layman terms.
Well, there's not a whole bunch of news to talk about this week, but I guess we can go ahead and jump on what little bit there is. I know there's one or two discussions to be had. But we're in a lull
bit.
now, again, because we've hit the...
We gotta wait till the video game awards.
Yeah, which is December. So, like, this month is going to be slow, which is fine, because we'll take a weekend off for Thanksgiving and things like that, so...
Thanksgiving, like, after Thanksgiving, the BlizzCon to video game awards, it dies off because
Well,
It's
yes and no. You
holidays,
get some
everyone's just
releases
kinda doing
in with
stuff.
that because that's holiday
Yeah, but it's
release window.
releases.
Yeah,
But,
I mean,
not
Death Stranding
news.
just came out, which I've heard some mixed things about. I've heard really good things, and I've heard some negative things too.
Watching
it's a
it,
hit
I
and
definitely
miss.
see it's down the middle. Like, I feel like it's a 50-50 game where watching it, it looks gorgeous. Holy shit. It is one of those games where you sit back and you play very casually. It is not a very in-depth style game. You just kind of watch the cinematics, you deliver some packages, you watch some more cinematics, you watch some more cinematics, you deliver a package,
Well,
you
it's a
watch some more
Kojima
cinematics.
game.
That's pretty much it.
He wants
Which
to
I
show
think
you a lot.
You're the postman on foot.
Yeah.
Which I think that's pretty neat. Watching some of the delivery mechanics and whatnot, and how you have to escort all the way across. It's interesting. I find it pretty fascinating how he's developed this gameplay engine in which it works. I mean, it's pretty neat.
I want
The
to
ladder
try it out
thing.
myself, but I'm not so sold on it that I wanted to buy it day one. And I also saw, like, one of the news articles that we have is that it is coming to PC, which I was not expecting, but it's coming to Steam and the Epic Store. So right now, there's no exclusive deal with Epic Games, which is really nice, and let's hope it stays that way.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I'm interested to play it. I mean, again, it's one of those games I probably won't play full price for because it's really just kind of like the same as going to a movie and watching something.
I
You
mean,
just
I don't
get
have
to
a problem with it having a lot of cutscenes, but I feel like, from what I've heard, as far as some of the negative things that I've heard, is the gameplay is not as fun as watching the cutscenes, and at that point, why don't you just watch a movie, you know? But
Yeah, it's like I said, it really seems like it's down the middle. It's a simple game that you get what you get. You get cutscenes and you get very passive gameplay. But the gameplay is solid, and the exploration in the world looks incredible. It looks like the damn game reviews are like a mountain. It has some crazy highs and some crazy lows.
yeah.
So, I mean, take it as you will. Check it out. I mean, I don't know. This is not a game that I can
And if you're
recommend,
waiting for
and it's not a game
PC,
I
it's summer
can't
of
recommend.
next year, 2020. So, no,
So
I don't
basically,
think...
basically they've got like a 9-month, 10-month exclusive on
Yeah,
it.
for PlayStation, because it's only PlayStation right now, isn't
Yes.
it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's what I
Yes.
thought. I thought it was PlayStation
and
exclusive.
I'm gonna venture to say that it's probably going to be a console. On console, that is the only exclusive it'll have.
Probably.
And then it'll move over. Yeah.
And then I'll move
Maybe.
to PC.
I wouldn't be surprised if Sony was extended an olive branch and was like, here, you guys can have this too. Let everybody see what Kojima's first game by himself was.
I don't know. Sony's not
Nobody
really the
thought
olive
the-
branch
the-
type.
Because I think
They're not. They're not, and I agree. But you never fucking know in this. They're finally getting over the hump for crossplay, so maybe.
maybe, but I mean, they don't. Sony doesn't play well with others, and at the end of the day, they've bought exclusivity for this game, so they're gonna do it. You know, it's it being Hideo's game. They're gonna do what they do. So.
Yeah, we'll see.
If you are playing it, I'd love to know what you think about it. I mean, like that's. I'm
you're gonna
super
get- you're gonna
interested.
get a range of 0
well,
to
that's
10.
that's why I'm interested to know, because I just love to see, you know, like, I'm not a professional reviewer. I'm just playing this game, and I think, because it's gotta be one of those games where you either love it or you hate it, or you're somewhere like so in the middle that you're like, I don't even know if I'm playing this.
I have no idea what's going on. I finished the game, and I still don't know what's happening.
I'm playing a movie.
How long is this game? Like, I wonder how long, start to finish, how long it would take you. Because I know some
Probably-
of the thing that slows you down is probably how you have to travel, because you have to stack all of the packages properly so that he can carry them without falling on his face and all that junk.
And then you're running around
And
on foot.
you have to make, like, your bottom triggers are like how you hold. You have to hold them so that you grip your chest and you can walk properly, because you'll start leaning over one way. The balance system
So
in the
basically
game,
what
the
he
stat
did was
system.
play a game like I Am Bread or Surgeon Sim or something like that, where it has that wonky, you gotta hold on to everything control. And he's like, I like that. How can I put that in my game?
it's balance. Like when you put the stuff on, you have to balance it accordingly, and certain things have to be in your hand so that you can't ride your motorbike or whatever, and you got to make sure that you balance. And if you fall in the water, you got it's crazy. Like the gameplay, if they the gameplay fits the kind of game it is, because it's super intricate, but it's also a lot of cutscenes. I don't know. It's about, from what it says, it's about 40 to 50 hours gameplay.
Well, that's pretty good, especially for a $60 game.
And from what I saw in the world, I don't know if it's 100% right, but if when you go out into the world, if you're playing online, you can actually see other people's stuff that they've set up in their journeys. Like if they put a ladder here, you can use the ladder. You can also say that you liked this guy's idea for the ladder, or you could take the ladder down, or you could pick up somebody's stuff that they dropped, or you could drop stuff. It really is kind of like a shared world where the things that you do can help other people making their journey across this delivery.
See, here's where I have a problem with it. I mean, is there a way to turn that off? Because my
I think
thought
you could
process,
just play now. You could think you could just play offline.
Okay, because my thought process is, all right, let's say that I don't play this game for 3 years, 2 years. Now there's ladders everywhere. There's all this, that everything that's left behind because this world is now vacant because people are no longer playing this game.
It's gonna be way easier, right?
Right,
because everybody's already made all of the.
Well, but it's kind of, I mean, it kind of reminds me of that element that you have in Dark Souls where people will write down on, watch around the corner or do stuff like that. It's not really cheating, but it is helping in a way to.
Yes and no. I have ran into more trolls than I have actual help.
In Dark Souls?
Oh, there's a chest around the corner. You turn the corner and you open it, and it's a fucking mimic that just insta-gives you. And they're like, oh, boss ahead, and you're like all fucking cracked out watching every corner, and there's nothing anywhere, and you're like, what the fuck? Or it's like a boss ahead, and you walk forward and fall off a cliff, and you're like, well, shit.
Well,
and
then
the
one you'll have those guys that go through the game and try to pick up everybody's stuff, try to steal everybody's ladders, you know what I mean? Like, you're gonna have
my ladders.
I will take all of these ladders. My job is delivering ladders.
I just feel like I'd rather play it by myself if that was the case, instead of have that element to the game.
But you don't ever see other players. You just see things they've left.
No, do you affect it? I mean, it's just a single player game with a multiplayer aspect to it.
Because surely you're not seeing like every ladder left by every player on every copy of the game. So I wonder how it picks and chooses what you see in your instance.
Maybe regional?
Maybe. But even then, that's still going to be, like, I mean, think about how many people, especially since we live in a college town, are playing this specific game and placing things in same places.
I wonder if it's most common.
It does have a vote system in it, by the way. Like, when you come up to something that's not yours, you can vote on it. And it's probably like if something doesn't get any votes, it just disappears after a while. If people don't use it, it just goes away. I found this article for it, and we don't have much to talk about anyway. Ropes, ladders can stay. Players built structures like post box, watchtowers, generators, and roads can appear and upgraded by other players. Will feature upgrades and customizations and signs that you can leave for other people. Because like one of the things is a watchtower, which you can interact with, and you can actually take a path that somebody else made. They're like, hey, this is the route that I took. It helped me. It was quick, easy, and it avoids most of the serious issues, because sometimes there are robbers and things like that. And then when
that
you
goes back to the trolling part of.
Yes, it will actually make the dotted map, like the line for you to take on your map, and you can decide if you want to take that route or not. Or you could pick someone else's route, and if you like it, you can upvote it. If you don't, then you just leave it alone. And so
interesting.
It is pretty neat. You can pick up the cargo left behind. You know, if you fall or die or something, your cargo gets left behind. You have to get it, or somebody else can get it. Let's see as well. Players, any structure or item can be placed by players can be liked, giving thanks. You can drop off unfinished deliveries for other players to complete, giving you a few likes. So if you're right next to a delivery point, you can drop some stuff off and then go out about your business and let somebody else deliver it for you. Be nice. You can donate items in post boxes for other people to collect. You can request certain items that you need because you can craft things and armor and weapons and skeletal suits and things like that. It can be made highlight structures built to other players as candidate for upgrades, and you can have other people help you upgrade stuff in your world or their world and things like that. I like his idea of what he wanted to do with this connected world.
It seems really ambitious.
Would you expect anything less from
wouldn't.
Kojima?
No,
exactly. It's about exactly what we would expect.
I'm actually impressed it came out when it did, to be fair.
Yeah, I am too. I thought it wasn't going to be until at least next year.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be quite a while before we actually saw this thing.
To be fair, it runs really fucking well.
I mean, that's good.
Which I'm surprised that it came out sooner.
He really doesn't have a whole lot of mistakes anyway in his games, right? Like a lot of glitches and issues and stuff like that anyway. Usually his games are pretty sound. And I don't know what he does differently than some of these other companies that create games that are very similar, but I mean I guess that's why he's as famous as he is the fact
he doesn't rush it out to try to make a huge profit like the most of AAA's do.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
And from what this says too, Oak, you can play it offline. All of the features that I just mentioned, you will not have access to. And you will have to handle all of the crucial upgrades like post boxes and generators and everything. Your world will basically be an empty slate, and you are the only one that can do anything.
So you can do it that way if you want to.
Yeah, you can completely do it offline. You can play by yourself in an empty world and whatnot. So you have that choice.
That's cool.
So
I like it.
I'd probably play it online just to kind of see how people have voted to
I'm wondering if it's
going
to share. Like, if I wait to get it on PC, does that share world states with the PS4 stuff? So, like, if people have already come through on PS4, do we see that in the PC copy?
I would say
they probably won't do that.
No,
off the
yeah.
bat.
I'm gonna say no.
So technically,
I'm
if you wait till next summer to buy it on PC, then you are playing from a clean slate anyway. Because
yeah, that's true.
I mean,
it'll be interesting to watch the world
experience
grow.
both.
Yeah.
Except you're doing it from a.
Granted, if it's coming out in summer next year, summer's busy for 3 of us at least, so I know that we will probably not be playing it till fall. Because
August, September, that wouldn't be so bad though.
Seems like a game that you have to commit some time to, because the travel in it's going to take a while, right? I mean, you're on foot, like Oak said earlier. You're a postman on foot.
Well, you're not always on foot.
Well, no, but even then, it's treacherous conditions, which is part of the gameplay of it.
Yes, and like I said, the gameplay of it, like every fucking rock has a rule to it. Like, if there's just a rock sticking up and you scan, it'll be a red X, so it is a dangerous piece of terrain. If you're walking and you step on that the wrong way, you'll slip and start falling over one way or the other, and you'll have to try to reorient yourself. So you got to make sure where you're stepping.
Okay, so I got a question. One of the things that we talked about before about this game was the fact that you're going to have to use the restroom in this game.
You do.
So you've watched people play. Have you watched them use the restroom? How does this work? What does this mechanic work?
Okay, so from what I can tell is that after every mission, you get to go back to your room. And your room has everything that you need in it. You got to eat, you got to drink, you got to use the bathroom, both sitting and standing. You got to take a shower, because sometimes while you're out in the field, you'll get into fights and you'll just get like nasty as fuck.
What if you don't shower?
You could just keep getting nastier and nastier.
It's gonna be gross forever.
And Norman Reedus' character will break the fourth wall at certain points if you keep pushing him too hard. I saw him at one point where he kept trying to make him drink a pop, and I think it was like the third one, he got up and he's just started, walking around the room shaking the can, and then he looks at the camera and pops it open and sprays it, and he goes, "There you go, there's your pop, or there's your soda," and he throws it back in the trash because he didn't want any more. So it breaks that fourth wall where it's like, just stop, dude. I mean,
that's interesting.
It is an interesting game for sure. It is.
I'm just interested to see too. Is like if you've got to do anything when it comes to the restroom part of this, and you don't shower, does he comment after that? Okay, look, I've taken 4 shits. Okay. and I still haven't showered. You nasty fucker, put me in a shower, please. You know what I mean? Like, that breaks that fourth wall.
Or maybe he just flips off the camera and hops in the shower anyways.
He
Right.
might. I mean, that's the kind of stuff that I would totally expect from a Kojima game. Because during the pee scene, he walks in there and he's standing over it, and you got a camera that's at the bottom looking up at him, and he looks down, and then it pans away to like.
So
this
you're the
little,
toilet?
The camera's in the toilet or something.
The camera's in the toilet.
I don't want to
But
see
it's-
that.
It pans away to this little circle thing with little tubes sticking out of it, and you see it slowly fill up with a yellow liquid.
Ew.
It's like, oh, okay. Okay, I gotcha. And so he's taking his pee now. So, I mean, there's stats for everything. Like, this game is really in-depth.
I'm so curious, like, more than interested in the storyline or the character development or the mechanics. I just need to see it. I just need to see what happens.
It's extreme curiosity, which,
Yes.
I mean, the game doesn't look like it's bad. It just looks like it's very different than... It really breaks that wall of what we see as AAA games and things like that. It has its own formula. It has its own thing, and that's all it is. Kojima is who he is, and this is what he wanted to make, and he sure as hell made it.
That's just
That is different.
bizarre. It's bizarre.
Would you expect anything less?
No, and I said
Nope.
that when we first saw the trailer for it. Like, when we first knew he was working on a game on his own, I was like, this is going to be weird. And it is.
Well, I
And
mean,
it never let
when
up.
we saw the first trailer and you have, like, babies and everything else, we're all like, what the fuck is going on?
But when he opens his mouth,
Well, the
and
that
first
was
one
the Game
wasn't the
Awards.
babies. The first
Yeah.
one was the handprints in the beach, like the black sand and the beach.
No, but there was a baby, too. He was holding a baby as he was walking.
Oh, yeah,
wasn't he?
that's right. It was.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's hard to
Because
remember
we're all
which
like,
one
what the
was
fuck is?
first.
Because then you had the things come out of the water or whatever,
Yeah.
the big alien looking things.
I want to know how good the
Whatever they are.
story is for the game too. Like I'm super interested because all the story cinematics that they showed us, and we've got that Troy Baker character with the gold mask, and then the Mads Mikkelsen character that's looks super sinister and can raise the skeleton out of the goo.
I've seen both scenes with them in it. I don't know the fucking story at all, but I've seen both scenes in it, and it looks like a fucking movie. And holy shit, are they good in it? Like, damn. They're
They're good
characters.
actors.
Yeah.
Yeah. It feels like you are watching them in a regular movie, which, I mean, I guess in a sense this is just a different style of movie,
It
but
is.
damn,
I'm super
they're pretty
interested.
fucking good.
I'm gonna put it on. I mean, it's already on our GameFly. It's been on our GameFly request since they put it up there. But Chicken still has Days Gone because he's waiting for afternoons free so that he can stream it. So,
Yes.
Chicken,
there,
you're gonna have to
waiting
get on
for it.
that at some point.
I know. I really want to play it. But we're almost 60. Once we
I
get 60,
know.
we'll be able to...
I know. That's why I haven't been pestering you too much about it. But,
I've been pestering myself. It's all good.
what else do we want to talk
other-
about?
Well, since we're talking about games recently came out, and ones that's very, very good, big storylines, everything goes along with that. One of Griff's favorite games, which she happens to be, if you haven't gone to her YouTube channel yet, watch her play the damn game. Red Dead
Yeah.
Redemption 2 hit PC this week.
I'm playing it on PS4 because the PC is off to a rough start.
Yeah, it
Like
kind of
usual.
broke PCs this week, I guess would be
Yeah.
a better way to put it. I think what's interesting to me is they're continuing to have issues with the game. Some people won't even launch it. Some people, it crashes immediately after there. It's one issue after another. Some of your largest content creators that are wanting to play the game, which you know have the most up-to-date system that's out there,
Should
like
be
Shroud
capable.
even, just completely destroys their PC. It's like, nope, sorry, not going to run. So kind of glad I'm waiting for this one on PC.
I feel like anything that's a big, ambitious game like that, that's got a really big world attached to it, you want to wait for its PC launch because you know that this is how it's going to be. They're going to have to work everything out and fix it, and then it'll be okay. Right out of the gate, ooh, Red Dead's been having some struggles.
But to be fair, it's not even going to affect their population at all.
No, it won't.
Like, Rockstar has such a solid reputation with GTA and their online games that they're like, okay, here's Red Dead. It doesn't work. We'll get it working. Don't
but I
worry
would like
about
to
it.
point out how long it took between GTA 5 on consoles and GTA 5 on PC. versus Red Dead, which was last year. It came out on consoles. This year, it's out on PC. It just
That's
feels
why I
like they
said
tried
they
to
don't-
get there really fast.
That's why I said they're not worried
this
about
is
it.
also the first one that doesn't have the Rockstar editor with it.
Really?
It's something that's been in the other Rockstar games on the release on PC. That doesn't have a Rockstar editor right now.
But aren't there already mods out for it?
Well, yeah, there is a mod that
Yeah.
I've seen running around that you can play Red Dead Online naked.
Yeah.
Yeah,
know
but
why
it's,
you would
it's
want
still,
to,
like,
but-
with the editor or not, people can still mod things. But this is just the first game they've done on PC that doesn't have that editor already with it
Like
to make it
packaged in?
easier. Yeah.
Interesting.
I think some of my favorite parts about this is they were talking about the different troubleshooting things that they had to do, and people what they were doing in order to be able to get the game to run. Okay, updating their BIOS, which please people keep that updated anyway.
That should update
Manually
by
up-
itself, hopefully.
Manually updating your Windows,
Okay, I guess.
which again keep
Should
it up
be
to
doing
date.
itself.
Apparently, even physically unplugging their hard drives.
Why would that help?
I don't know.
What do you? These are people that don't know how to troubleshoot things on PC.
They're probably just listening to the trolls in the community, and they're like,
Unplug
just
your
unplug
hard
it.
drive to do what? What does that accomplish?
I don't know, but I guess the most basic one was just people logging out of the launcher and going back into the launcher allowed it to be able to work. So it's like,
Have you tried
I
turning it
don't-
off and turning it back on? Is essentially what that is.
right? Which I mean, that's what I would have done with my PC anyway. I would have just completely turned it off.
I think it's things
it
like
back
turn
on.
it off, turn it back on, restart the computer altogether, clean your cache and retry it, and then run it as administrator if it's not already.
Right?
See about those things. Sometimes that run as administrator will really get you.
So unplugging your hard drive isn't first on your list. So it's
No.
just,
That's
yeah.
pretty far down the list. Pretty much on the never part of the list. 'Cause that doesn't make
it's
any
like-
sense.
It's like pouring water on your motherboard to cool it down. Right?
Please don't do that. Nobody listen
But, well,
to
I
him.
mean, it'll cool it down, but it just won't work anymore afterwards.
this is, oof, they got to fix
be-
that. That
To be
needs
fair, though, I
optimized a
have
bit.
more faith in Rockstar fixing it than I did for Bethesda. Like,
Yeah.
this feels like Bethesda's Fallout 76 launch, except Rockstar, I feel like, is going to be like, oh, yeah, we'll get this shit fixed, and Red
Well,
Dead Online
but I
will
think
be
the difference
fine
is
and
too.
everything.
This game has already been launched once, just not on.
Yeah, and it worked
Fallout
fine.
76 was like, we're gonna put it all out at one time.
And
And
it's
if they had
garbage
just
everywhere.
released an early access on PC, like they should have done to make them work out all the bugs, then they could have done a full release with the console for Fallout 76. But Rockstar's like, hey, we released it out on console. We've got this shit down. We want to try to get it as best we can for PC. Oh, fuck, we fucked up, but we'll get it fixed. You know, I mean, I feel like that's where you're going to be.
Yeah, they'll be fine. I'm sure Rockstar in a couple of months will have this game back up to somewhat par to where people can play it, and then once because it is coming to Steam, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's coming to Steam next month.
Yeah, once it comes to Steam, things will start working out better, and they'll have the population boom, and they'll start supporting it like GTA Online. Then they're gonna have 2 major online games to support, which is a pretty big task, but I think Rockstar can handle it.
Well, and especially I saw an article earlier. It's not anything that we're doing today, but I did see an article earlier that GTA 5 is more popular now than it ever has been. And
How do
I think
people
part
still
of it's
not
because
own
of,
it?
It's
I think
gotta
it's
be
still
the
because of the
RPG.
role-playing thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
about to say it's got to be the RP thing.
It's
People
just because of the
fucking
role-playing part
love
of
that
it.
shit.
And so it's like
Red
that's
Dead
become
will
more
be
popular.
like that at some point too.
Oh hell yeah! You go back. You get to be a cowboy. Come on, the mechanics in it too are pretty solid. Like you get to have about as much freedom as a video game can offer you. I'm
telling
sure
you,
there are going to be games where you'll have to eat and drink water.
This
and
is the predecessor to
hardcore.
Westworld. I am telling you now. This is what they're going to be doing. Is the next game that they have? What would you say? Well, we said future, right? No, we said we were going to go with the whole space cowboy type thing, I guess. But the future type deal. Well, that'll be their next game set somewhere, and then when that happens, you know, it's be another RP, and then they'll have 3 RPs, and they're just running all that. And then, you know, 200 years from now, Rockstar is going to have these live Android things walking around.
You know what? Red Dead's coming to Steam, so that Steam and Valve and Rockstar can make an agreement. They're gonna make fucking Red
VR
Dead
system?
VR system. You'll be able to go in Red Dead Online in VR and then play with everybody. But holy shit, I'm a cowboy! Hell yeah!
Can I play
One
the
step
single
before
player on
Westworld.
VR?
I was watching someone play online recently for the Red Dead, and like they were just messing around, and they figured out that one person got underneath the bridge part, and when someone went to go jump off, they could lasso them, and catch them.
Oh my
and
god.
pull them up.
Holy shit!
That's cool.
And as for your single player, Griff, no, that doesn't make money. It's got to make money. It's got to be worth the investment.
Actually, technically, it would be, because if you tell people that they can get a VR version of the game, even in single player,
that's true.
you're going to
Red
sell
Dead would
copies
sell
of the
it.
game.
Yeah. I mean, there are a handful of games that would work on super well, and I think Red Dead's one of them.
I think I'd get. My question is, would you get sick being on the horse?
Nope.
Because, you know, you'd have this whole little. Bumpy...
No, because then they'll just sell you, instead of a treadmill, they'll sell you a horse thing. They'll sell. It's basically a saddle that you sit on, and it rocks you. Oh man. The immersion is so real.
I'm pretty sure there's an entire area of the world, or area of, we'll say, a business that's out there that I think already has saddles that move. I'm just saying.
Well, see, the technology already exists, and Rockstar can just further patent that. So, bam, bam, win-win.
Rockstar, the simian machine. All right. Anyway.
What else
All
we
right,
got?
moving on.
All right. Which way we want to go? Do we want to go back to China, or do we want to go over to the UK?
I
Which
wish
way
we could
going?
just skip China forever.
Let's go China stuff, because that's 2 instead of 1.
All right, fair enough. So China is imposing an online gaming curfew for kids to prevent addiction, in quotations. Which it's
I think that's how
8
you
a.m.
further
to
spark addiction.
the only time you'll be able to game is between 8 a.m. and 10 p.m. Anything after that, I guess, did the machines just cut down? Is that how that works?
8 a.m. to 10
Maybe they stopped the
servers go
internet?
offline.
Yeah, that probably.
But what do you do
watch
about
and-
single player games?
You can't play games, dude. They have
Of course,
access
like,
to.
how do you tell?
They have access to everything. They are a surveillance state.
Okay,
Griff.
that's creepy.
I will say that I wish parents had access to something like this, which they would be allowed to control what their kids play, like parents should. It should not be a government's place to decide.
Well, there
how you
are
do it.
options for, like, to be able to turn off internet during certain times and things
I
like
know
that.
there
That's all
were
stuff.
there was a lot of sarcastic faces.
Sarcasm? I got you.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, you could do this, but you don't have to have your government to do it.
Oh,
And to
you
be
should-
fair, I highly
But
doubt.
the parents don't know how to do this and don't want to learn.
And then you wonder why the government's stepping in.
That's a conversation we've had more than once.
Well, I do think it's a little bit different when you're trying to govern, billions of people versus,
Millions, hundreds of
and trying to, trying to keep all that in touch can be a little bit different. And trust me, in no way am I defending China, because I'm not a fan
Yeah.
of them. But I will say it. Different governments work for the country that they have, based on the fact that, it's, though it is a very repressive society in a numerous amount of ways, it does make sense to say, okay, we're going to go ahead and keep them from being able to do this. But it actually surprises me that they're
I
like,
don't think it does make sense. I think
No,
that that's
They're trying to okay. What top comment even says? It's hard to argue against limiting how much kids spend online.
and
Like,
I don't
yeah.
disagree with that. But I
But
do
it-
think
but
that's
it
probably
actually
more
surprises me that they
stepping
don't
in.
make you watch a propaganda video in order to play more.
Yeah, I'm
It actually
surprised too.
surprises me more. I actually expect them to go, all right, Tencent or whoever it is that happens to be that government. Okay, they can play after 10 p.m., but they have to watch this 15-minute long video about how awesome we are.
And then take
then we
a
go back
20-question quiz to make
Yeah.
sure that they watched
Yes.
it.
That's more than a question, a minute.
I mean,
and
it's
you get one more hour of gameplay.
You can watch another video to get another hour.
yeah,
Maxing out
it's
at 3
just-
extra hours a day.
I just, it's so weird to me. Just, I mean, I get it. I understand them trying to limit the gaming to help with the addiction and everything else, but it's just, it is what it is. It does change the market a good bit in China. And so I'm interested to see how this evolves. Like over the next 5 years, how does this evolve? Do other countries try it? It might have a little bit of a repressive society like that, or is it where, China's still the only one type thing? And then will somebody in a more free country try to push for it?
Ooh, I don't know how well
Right?
that would go.
Well, it wouldn't
So
go
it's not
over
what
well,
over here
but
will
it
get
doesn't
the
mean that
idea.
somebody wouldn't try. Necessarily.
Well, on that subject, there was a kid, a 17-year-old kid, who did pass away. I think last week or so. He was 17, and he was on vacation in October, and he's playing games far too often. He had a stroke and died
Wow.
at 17.
Know your limits, people. Get some sleep. Take care of yourself.
His dad tried to get him to stop, or would try to get him to get up and move and do things, but the kid was just how kids are, very invested in what they were doing, and it did unfortunately kill him. And this again is going to help push that gaming is an addiction, and it's really hard to break it. We've got to find some sort of way to help these kids break away, and that again plays on the kid from Fortnite who just got banned, and it feels like he lost his entire fucking life.
Do you think part of this is also not just that, but they're looking at the children's education, as you will, like their intelligence level, or what they feel their intelligence levels should be, or the progression of their society, as in how hard these kids are working? Because child labor, like how they're working, and feel that that's slipping based on previous years, and they're looking at the video games because of that. Because one of the things too, and this is what I forgot to mention when we were first doing it, it's an hour and a half a day is all you're allowed between those two times. So, except on a holiday, you get 3 hours. Woot woot. So hour and a half is all you're allowed for the gaming time for the day. So I'm just wondering if they're like, well, the kids are going home for lunch and they're not coming back to work, if it's like one of those type things or what. But I feel like there's more to it than just the parents aren't doing this.
Well,
I think it's more of...
You also have to look at it this way, and one of the other comments pointed this out, and it's something that I thought about before, like between shows, and always forget to bring it up. But China's gaming market is different than ours. When we talk about it, we think of kids playing Fortnite on their PCs or their consoles. This is largely mobile and tablet games. And when
That's
you
true.
think of mobile and tablet games, it's exactly what you expect. Those predatory games where they want you to sink an infinite number of hours in, along with an infinite number of money, amount of money as well. So it's kind of twofold on that. And I understand wanting to regulate access to that, because those games will cause specific damage to younger kids and whatnot. But I also think that means that China needs to regulate their industry better, not just the people playing the games, but the people making this garbage.
Well, and I think if you look at it, your two major companies that are on there that are known for mobile games, also, now that you say that, I just happened to think about it, Tencent and NetEase.
Yep. And
So
what do
you got
they
the
make?
two
Mobile
biggest-
garbage games.
Yeah, so that's what they're known for, and so they continue, they're trying to get more and more into the U.S. market by buying into certain companies, and then that moves us into our next article, which happens to be partially because of this, but I have a theory on this article.
Okay. can't wait to hear
Tencent wants to work with Nintendo to attract console game players in the U.S. and Europe, because they're mainly in China. That's what they're known for, with the exception of buying into U.S. companies.
Right.
My thought process is because one of the lines that they said, we look forward to working with console games from like learning about console games from Nintendo engineers. I don't think anyone here is going to argue Nintendo does a really fucking good job when it comes to making games, and they're able to their technology that they have.
They probably have the best engineers in the industry.
I mean, if you can put an entire fucking game that fills up my damn PC or my console onto a thing this big, you know, a 1-inch square essentially, if you're able to do that and it still play well and feels right and everything else, then their engineering now my thought process is they're looking at it and they're going, if we can get that same stuff, we can become a competitor to Nintendo and create our own console. That's my thought process. That's what I think they're trying to do. I think they're trying to get into the US and European market to try to replace Nintendo.
I can agree with that too, but I was going to say, I definitely understand in a business perspective and trying to work with Nintendo to try to do that. And all I would say is good luck trying. Nintendo's been around for 200 and something fucking years, and they've been making consoles for 40 years now. Something. Good luck trying to replace them.
I think the idea is all they have to do is be able to gradually replace it. And the average consumer, we know this, we deal with this gaming shit all the day, every week. The average consumer is not going to look into these companies. And then when they get called out, let's use Epic, for instance. Tencent's part of the company, and we figured out the Chinese company, Tencent, was literally data mining everybody's PC that had the freaking browser, or had their client on it. And they got called out, and they go, oh, our bad, we got caught. And nobody cared.
Oops. Yeah.
Nobody cared. And it was just like, you got to be kidding me. So I think this is a bigger worry to me than anything, because you have a Chinese company, not to say, let's say all things being equal, and this Chinese company has the biggest heart on the planet and wants to just be as nice and humanly possible.
Okay.
The problem is their government and the fact that all that shit's government controlled in some way. That's where it becomes a problem, because if they go to Tencent and they say, we want you to spy on every American and every party in Europe, they're going to do it.
Oh yeah.
You know,
it's a very slippery road that we've got to keep our eyes on and try to, open as many eyes as possible. But that's going to be a lot fucking harder said than done.
And I think that one of the quotes that was on here, which is from Lisa Hansen, who is the managing partner for Nico Partners, which I'm not really sure who Nico Partners are, but they come quoted a lot when it comes to Eurogamer. Tencent is skillfully pursuing silent global domination.
Mm-hmm.
And so that is just so scary to me, because
keep reading that. It gets even scarier.
Via expansion primarily in the form of major and minor investments in video game industry companies around the world without rebranding them as Tencent.
That's the scary part, is they slide in there and they start corrupting from the inside, and they don't change the name. They just sit on the inside and nobody knows what they're dealing with. I mean, they do it with so many companies.
It sounds really nefarious and like a movie plot.
It is.
But that's the thing, though, is like sometimes when we watch media and play games and whatnot, and we're like, oh, this is entertaining, but it would never happen in real life. Some of that is very close to what's actually happening, and we just don't pay enough attention to it.
They just make it more cartoony villainy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, but I think what makes the most entertaining movies and entertaining TV shows and entertaining games a lot of times is because it could happen. There's that
The
thought
possibility of it could or it is really neat.
Like holy shit, that's scary. That's kind of going right here. Like if you want watch House of Cards for however long, and
right?
that shit, you go, that's completely. I can see that actually all happening. Okay.
And here we are.
Wait. That just happened? What?
Yeah.
So, you have The Simpsons that was able to predict some of the shit.
Because they were just being ridiculous and making shots in the dark, but it happened. And then you'll get the people that, like you see it all of the time when there's anything in games, especially. Get your politics out of my games. It's like, Do you understand how much of the plot lines you're playing are motivated by either things that have happened politically in the past or could happen politically? That's why post-apocalyptic genre is so good, is because there are so many ways that this could end up happening, and that's what makes it interesting to play in.
Or even then, traditionally, good war games was the same way, because you had the fighting aspects of each one, and if they were telling you the actual campaign and what's supposed to happen, you're supposed to feel something one direction or the other and realize that either these atrocities happened or they could happen or whatever. So it's reality, something that we know from human nature and history can continue to happen. And this shit scares the fuck out of me. Like, you can talk about anything, but when you're talking about them wanting to get with Nintendo and make games with Nintendo characters, by the way, that's part of the article as well.
That's
if I had to guess, though, I know Nintendo's a Japanese company. I doubt that they will work too closely with Tencent. It's probably going to be
based on past political tensions.
Yeah, like there's already so much fucking tension between the Chinese country and the Japanese country. I mean, it's decades, centuries old of
Get your
tension.
politics out of my game. Good luck.
Yeah, so I doubt they're going to be like, oh yeah, you want to see how we made this Switch? We're going to lay it all out for you, and this is exactly how we made. I doubt it. It's going to be like, hey, these are good ideas that we've done or tried. You can try them yourselves. Good thing they're all the ones that failed, but go ahead and try. It works.
Nintendo sabotaging them. That's priceless too.
It's a political fucking game that they've been playing for centuries. I mean, I wouldn't doubt it.
That would be so good though. Or
Yeah,
Nutties keeps putting out really crappy things. And they're like, why isn't this working? Nintendo said. Nintendo's like, woo ha ha ha.
The irony right here of the fact that you've got the Chinese government at the same time cracking down on video games, and then you have one of the major companies trying to make more video games in a new way. It's like we took over China. They've cost us down. Let's go to a free country so that we don't have these restrictions.
The comment sections though on the article about the curfew. And apparently there are already a bunch of restrictions on media and tech and stuff, but there's enforcement's like really sporadic and random, and so like in some places it's enforced sometimes, in some places it's never been enforced. So it's like, why do they even bother making these rules? Who is this for?
They create these laws to use them whenever they want.
Yeah, I guess
it's basically true. It really is an abuse of power. It's like, okay, we're gonna make this law. Are you gonna enforce
it? The Indian government's done the same thing, right? Indian government was you couldn't play the mobile games more than an hour or whatever. You get arrested or whatever it was. It's like
you couldn't play PUBG at all.
Yeah,
they banned Players Unknown from their country entirely. I mean, it's
like they're getting more restrictive there too. Anyway, but
that's not the proper way to deal with video game addiction. For the record, as we've learned in the past, if you ban something entirely, it does not work.
It doesn't necessarily just go away. That's what happens with prohibition.
Not to get into like an entire political thing about it. The way I look at it is this: like, just right now we have in the U.S. there's an opioid addiction, a bunch of stuff like that, and there's all this debate on who needs to pay for that. To me, part of the thing is you set aside money from the profit that's taken that goes into a fund that helps pay for any of that addiction that's there. And I think it should be the same way with video games. You set it up and you go, you're making millions of dollars off of this, and we know it's a problem. Let's figure out a way to put it into a lockbox that helps these people that we are diagnosing, so that way some of your money is going back into
Nobody
that.
can just hold money like
that.
No.
How about if the government
you can put it in trust fund for it?
If the government created an organization to help people deal with this, and the companies paid into that organization as charity, so they get write-offs and whatnot, and it's a non-profit organization.
So it's an incentive.
Exactly, and then these help figure out how to solve these problems. There you go. Companies get a tax break for the charity. You have an organization that helps deal with the problems that these companies are making. Boom. I mean, it just seems like it would work.
That's the way, like, you're using privatization, you're using capitalism to actually pay for the social issue.
Yes.
Which is the ideal way to make that happen, because capitalism is always going to be a thing. The social issues are always going to be a thing. Let's take one and help the other.
If only one side wasn't so goddamn greedy, it'd work a lot better. But I mean, human nature, it is what it is.
Yep. Money is power in a lot of places, right?
And like
Mentally
every
and
place.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You
Pretty
know.
much everywhere. Money is power.
money is power. All right, last one we've got right here.
Speaking of money,
Oof. Speaking of addiction. Ah.
speaking of a lot of things, let's just tie
Yeah,
everything
right.
into this one.
I
All
did
right,
bring this one up a little bit a few minutes ago.
So one of the things that we've stated several times on here is the addictive properties of a game such as Fortnite. We brought it up several times on the show, and recently a professional player, a tournament player, someone who actually makes money playing Fortnite, by the name of Jarvis K, has decided that
face,
he
Jarvis.
went onto YouTube and on an alternate account used an aimbot during a match. Like it was just a casual match. It wasn't like an in tournament or anything like that. It was a casual match, but he filmed it. Even states in the actual video, I'll probably get banned for this. And then he's upset because he got banned for that.
Permanently, by the way. Permanently. He is
perma-banned.
never
Permanently
allowed to
banned.
play Fortnite again. Which, I mean, he can play. He'll have to make another account, and he's not allowed to publicize or profit from it in the slightest, or they'll just ban him again. So, I mean,
And the kid had we were talking about all this shit ahead of time. There's 2.1 million subscribers to his YouTube channel.
Yep.
All right. And the 2.1 that was on there, he issued an apology.
He made an
I felt like
apology video.
Yeah, in the apology video that was there, he's crying, he's doing all the stuff you think of apology, but he monetized it and made £20,000, which is $25,000, $25,000 off just the advertisements alone at
And for
9.5
those of you that
million views.
don't know much about how the YouTube stuff works, with monetized channels, you have the option to turn the monetization off on your video. You can say, I don't want this video to run ads because you have sensitive material
long
in it,
as it
or it's an
doesn't
ad
break
itself. Yeah, and things like that.
As long as it doesn't break YouTube's terms of service,
So
it'll run.
he had the choice to turn the monetization off of that video, and instead he chose to make extra money on, in my opinion, his bullshit apology. Because watching him
should have
tear
just
up
let
in a
it
bunch,
go.
the way that he cuts it when he starts crying and everything, it feels really fake to me. And I think I know you guys had touched on the addiction side of it as well, that he's addicted to Fortnite because of the way he talks about it. Part of that is not an addiction to Fortnite. Part of that is that he cannot make his YouTube videos. He's addicted to the attention that playing Fortnite gets him, and he's not getting that either because he can't make content.
I think it's a mixture of both. I think
Yeah,
I think
it's
he's
definitely
addicted
a
to that, but I
mixture of
also
both.
think when he states in the actual apology video that there's a void in me if I can't play Fortnite in the morning, and seriously,
Yeah.
it sounds like a 17-year-old kid in love with some being of some sort, and writing the note to them, and like in class and handing it to them, and you can see the little scribbles and the little
His
hearts
first
on the
breakup.
outside of
Oh,
it, and hand
no.
it to it, and it go. I was so sad this morning because I didn't get to see you at homeroom, and now it's third period.
And you haven't talked to me all day.
it feels.
Like, that's what it comes off as. This kid is addicted to both. He's
Well,
absolutely
this kid
100%
is very
addicted.
obviously still a kid, and this needs to be a wake-up
Yes.
call, because what he did was against the rules of his quote-unquote job. If I do something
Right.
at my job that is against the rules, I get fired. It doesn't matter that it's my livelihood. None of my coworkers are going to be able to go, you shouldn't fire them because that's how they make their money, and now what?
Right, which
Find
that
another
goes back to
job.
Ninja. Of course, we all know who Ninja is. Ninja comes in and says that content creators should be treated differently than the average person playing the game, and that banning them for life is a little bit shouldn't be a thing.
Nope. You don't
I
get special
absolutely-
treatment because you made a video.
Well, but I 100% go the opposite direction. You should be at a higher standard because you're a public figure.
You are.
In
You
his
are
case,
setting
for
the
2.1
example.
million people.
Yep.
You're supposed to set the example, and
Well,
you're representing
and let
that.
me-
So
let me just-
absolutely, Epic did the right thing here.
Let me point this out too. Ninja has multiple times bitched on his fucking stream about aimbots. He fucking hates it and thinks that they should all be banned unless they're making money making videos off of it, because then that's their livelihood and they shouldn't lose their job. You can't have it both ways, buddy. That ain't how it works.
But that kid's only says 17.
That kid is 17, and this is a life learning experience. Now he can go find a new job playing a new game, but he's not going to play Fortnite anymore.
Yeah, just make content with a new game. Or, here's an idea. You're still in high school, finish high school, go to college, get a degree, grow up a little bit. That's fine.
You don't have
Either
to go
way.
to college. You just go find a career path that's something else if you can't play video games anymore.
And Chicken and I look at this beforehand. This kid is worth $2.5 million.
He ain't hurting.
No, he's not hurting. I don't feel sorry for him for breaking.
He could go and find another game to play, or find something else. He's got 2.1 million. He's already got a huge pool to play in. Now figure out what that audience wants. I mean, if you can't do Fortnite, find something else. If they like you enough, some of them will stick around, and you can create a new brand and start somewhere else. You have so much more potential. Quit bitching. You fucked up. Find something else.
Yeah.
Well, here's
you
the thing.
made a mistake.
Ninja,
Quit crying about it.
Ninja, why did you leave Twitch? Could it be because of the fact that you were dependent upon the regular people in order to be able to make money? Microsoft hands you an actual salary and you moved over? Or could it also be because of the fact that you have somebody like Dr. Disrespect who does shitty things, but he never gets really fucking punished for them at the end of the day? Because that's how he makes his living?
Yeah.
Come on. He's being treated differently because he makes money for fucking Twitch. Everybody knows that. You have several people that have done shitty things, and that's exactly what happened to them. At the end of the day, Ninja, you are representing of content creators. You're one of the biggest in the world, the most known out of everything when it comes to actual content creation, where Shroud would be most known when it comes to professional gaming that happens to do content creation. This is stupid. Why are you arguing?
Well, you don't get to join an elite club where you're exempt from everything just because you made a few bucks doing so. And I realize saying a few bucks in Shroud money or, Ninja money and all of that is ridiculous. But that doesn't change the fact that you don't get special treatment. When you click agree on their terms of service, that company set out a parameter and you have to play in that parameter. And if you move out of it, they have all the right in the world to just ban your account forever. Which is what they did, and they should not repeal it.
Yeah, the guy even says in there, I should have paid more attention to the terms of service. You make a living doing this.
And the thing is, part of why I don't like his apology video, too, is in the apology video, he said, I never thought about the consequences or the ramifications of what might happen if I did this. In the video that he was using the aimbot that got him banned, he said multiple times, I'm so going to get banned for this. You can't have it both ways. You can't tell me in your bullshit apology that you didn't know this was going to happen when you said it more than once while you were doing it.
Right.
I will say in a kid's mind like that, he had, I'm going to get in trouble with this, equal permanent ban. He did not make that correlation in his head. Well, and I mean, that's not an excuse. He's a child. They don't have a higher function of thinking.
Because he played it under an alternate account. And I wonder if he thought the account would get banned.
But not him.
And not him.
But you made a YouTube video. So not only did you do this stupid thing, you did it in a way that you put it up in a public forum and you even edited it. It's like you went back and watched your own footage, cut it down, and then put it on a public platform with your name attached to it and thought that you'd be A-okay. Literally nothing about that makes any sense. And 17, okay. Yeah, I guess you're still technically a kid, but you're old enough to fucking know better.
Speaking of somebody that's coached 17-year-olds, no.
I guess I must have been an exception to the rule at 17.
Having been a 17-year-old boy, no. I can tell you right now, the mentality that he's going through is because of the fact that it is that addiction is there, but he's also addicted to the fact he's worth $2-something million, and he's in the attention and everything else that he's getting on there. He's getting something that none of us at that age would ever have gotten anyway, which is he's getting that notoriety. So now he realizes that's gone. It's crushed him, which, to be fair, totally deserved. Yeah, but at the same time, he thinks his life is over instead of looking at other opportunities, which is the difference between adulthood and children. They're children. That's what they are. We live in a college town. Trust me, the mid-20, early 20 crowd are just as much of a child as those people right there. I would have never said that until I'm 40-something years old and seeing them going, holy shit, I got friends who have kids those age. And they're kids. That's what they are. And it's hard to realize we do stupid things as we grow up. This guy just fucked up big time. but he's still worth $2 million. They didn't take his money from him. They took the opportunity to play a game he loves.
Yep.
Stop being fucking entitled about this shit, and at the end of the day, find another fucking game and just make content.
Yep. If
Just
somebody
make
told me
content.
that they were going to take away BioShock, which is my favorite game, hands down, you can never play that again, I would be fucking destroyed. First of all, I never would have been dumb enough to do something that would have gotten me permanently banned from it. But two, it's like, okay, let me go through my destruction period and be sad about it for a week or two, and then I'm going to go on and play something else. Because it ain't the end of the
There's
world.
going to be a grieving period.
Yeah.
Just like anything.
But he made a
You're gonna have
video,
that
a
little bit
public
of-
video, and monetized it to make more money off of his
But
apology.
how much better would the grieving process be if you were worth millions?
Oh man.
I mean, I could have just been at least, I am feeling horrible. Weekend trip
Take a
to
couple
Key
days off
West
and
or
then
something.
go
You
find
know
something
what I
else.
mean?
Yeah,
I'm feeling so terrible. I just bought a brand new $200 gold-plated spoon to eat my 3 pints of ice cream with. Like, oh no, my life.
Right?
Oh,
Hard life.
woe is
Hard life.
me.
But Ninja
Has no
I-
business trying to defend him. And that's
Not on
the
that.
dumbest argument I've ever heard. You should get special privileges and allowance because you're famous? Fuck you.
Oh, well, I mean, it's the same mentality. Okay, well, how do you feel about the fact that, you're causing part of the issue when people are going, well, nobody ever touched them because of harassment that they might have gotten here or whatever, because of the fact of who they were.
You're part
They
of the
got a
problem,
slap
buddy.
on the wrist because of who they were. It's part of the problem.
Part of the problem.
Oh, nothing's ever going to happen to them because of who they are.
But then again, Ninja's that dude that can't play with female gamers because people might talk about them being in a relationship, even though he's married and all of that crazy shit.
He's a child still, and I will keep saying this. He skyrocketed too far into fame, and life has never really just shit on him super hard, where he had to learn, to grow up, to go through.
I have
the
plenty
good
of those
thing
learning
is-
experiences.
But look at
Same.
this kid here. This kid is learning that early. He's
Yes,
10
hopefully
years
he'll
younger
turn out
than,
to be a little
he's
better.
like 10 years younger than Ninja is. So he's getting to learn right now the mistakes, the problems, the issues, and everything else. And the only way we get better as people is to make mistakes.
I just
He
wish
made a
people
big
wouldn't
fucking one.
coddle him about it. Oh, you didn't do anything wrong and things like that. It's like, no, he did something wrong. We need to identify it. We need to tell him he did something wrong, and he needs to fucking learn and accept that. That's how you grow as a human.
That's called parenting also.
That's way
Right?
too complicated. Let's just go to China and have the government do it for us.
I don't want to do that.
That is a great way to go around all that shit. That was perfect. Full circle right there.
Wow.
I think that's a good way to end the show,
Yeah,
personally.
this has been an interesting show. Let's leave it on a high note right there. I got
was well
some
done, sir.
Boom.
Red Dead that I gotta go record, and I haven't played in like 2 weeks, so that's gonna be interesting.
I love the thumbnails, the little cry with his head down, by the way. Too funny. All right. We do appreciate everybody that hangs out with us each and every week at Infinite Respawn. As always, you can check us out on Twitter at InfiniteRazPC. You can check me out personally at MDB Oaktree. Check out Grif.
At Griff's Lanham.
Check out Chicken.
I'd elite chicken 313.
Check out Baka.
Baka pickle.
Also, as I said before, why are you not on her YouTube channel right now? It should be on the side while you're listening to us or watching us. Get multiple screens. I don't care. Have her going. And you've got this Red Dead Redemption 2 thing that's going on. It's this epic voyage. You might have another 3 years of this epic voyage
That's
going
not
on
true,
for all I know.
okay? That's not true. We'll probably
year
be
and a
done by
half.
the end of the year.
What? Then what are you going to do? Another
Yeah,
RPG?
Well, then I got the epilogue to play, so.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
fair enough.
So we'll be done by next year.
Got it. So make sure you go on there and watch Grif. Also go to twitch.tv/EliteChicken313. I know part of the answer to this,
Wow.
which is you're going to be playing WoW this week, but is it all WoW?
Probably, because we'll be
Yes.
raiding on Wednesday, so Monday and Tuesday we'll definitely be playing.
Tonight is, tonight, tomorrow, Tuesday, we'll be playing. I don't know if I'll stream the raid, though.
Yeah, we might not stream the first raid, because, we'll have to tell the guildies that we're streaming it, so that nobody's weirded out about it, but
But hey,
We'll
no,
see.
You can't. Yeah.
Word.
I thought the raid was Thursday.
No, it's Wednesday.
Yay, grinding.
At least you
get on
can
it,
kill
buddy.
shit. At least you can kill shit. You ever try to be a tank and healer, try to fucking kill things? You just sit there and auto attack it with a
that's kind
fucking
of hard
stick.
to do when I've got 4 things on me.
Stop pulling so
and
much.
No. This is for that stupid hammer quest.
Why are you
I
Why are you
can't-
focusing on that one if you need a group for it? Go to do something
Well, I
else.
only tried it. I only tried it twice, but I've been running around doing other things.
What are you streaming, Oak?
I've got Outer Worlds most of the week, and then I will be playing Minecraft tomorrow morning. Mondays during the day, since I have off this time of year, I'm going to start doing Minecraft then, and then the afternoons, Monday night playing whatever game happens to be the current one that I'm playing. So, and then hopefully this Friday, I'll be back on the seas again. We weren't able to do it this past Friday because I had people in town for the big game. So hopefully be able to do it that way. So it should be fun.
Cool.
Right. So for Infinite Respawn, I'm Oak Tree.
I'm Grif.
I'm chicken.
I'm Baka.
Bye.
See ya.
Please hang up and try again.